And I understand that, and the wholesale rate that you're selling to other utilities is a much lower rate than the retail rate that you would sell. So that makes sense on the 170 megawatts. So the rest of the power though that you have, and you're saying you have your 15% reserve plus you have all this additional power, who paid to build out that power?
Chair Thompson, Commissioner Walden, I mean, it is the standard kind of rate structure that the system that we have today has been paid for by all the customers that are existing today and in the past as well. And that's the kind of structure, right, that we operate under. I think, again, I'll just go back to if there are any new resources that are required for the additional build out of this data center or any other data center, we will be working with that customer to ensure that they pay for those resources. Growth pays for growth.
Yeah. So this part of the contract, it does feel less favorable for Arizona than what we're seeing in other states. So yes, they lucked out that you happen to have extra generation lying around. I still think they should have to pay for that. That's great. You have extra generation to serve them because the data centers are aching to come online. Federal administrations want them to come online. I'm still wary about whether or not there is a data center at the end of this, since it's not with the customer. Like if a Google, Amazon, or Microsoft were here today, I'd be questioning them. Or I'd be directing all these questions at them. What are you going to do to pay for it? And that's what they're doing in other states, and that's what they've assured me they're doing. I think that you could go back to the customer and ask for additional funding to pay for the generation that they're taking. Because when we're doing our rate cases, we're looking at like systems to like systems. We have our residential rates, we have our larger rates. We do it in water consolidation rates, where we're trying to make it so that the area that's benefiting is paying like systems to like systems. So if this was socialized amongst your entire customer class, we are getting a less favorable contract if they're not offering any kind of funding to pay for that power than what we're seeing in other states. So if the power didn't exist, they would pay for it. You'd build it out and they'd pay for it. The power does exist, so why aren't they paying for it? Like they could still do that. Just because it exists doesn't mean it hasn't been subsidized by existing customers. And if it's across all your customers, it's not an apples to apples comparison when you're comparing one user that wants enough power that would fund a town or a city, and 300 megawatts could potentially fund up to 270,000 homes. So it's not really a fair comparison. So that's what I'm trying to get at. And I don't feel like I really have the answers here. And I think it's because at the end of the day, you do have the extra power. You're saying that it's okay to give that to them because they are going to help keep costs down in the future. But that's also true for the 300 data centers in Loudoun County. They are both having to pay their way, and then also in that structure keeping costs down by subsidizing the revenue requirement of the utility, which makes sense because they're the driver of it. They have the big wear and tear on the system.